are in Lewiston, Maine, and regarding the comments that Terrence and I just made on the Magic Kingdom, Disney's Magic Kingdom, Native American in the chat said they should depict us as angry. We see what they are doing to make a dollar. It's so true. And so many people in the chat have strong opinions about that. Join us in our chat. Welcome back to American Sunrise. It is now time for our moment of faith. And in focus today, Kamala Harris, don't want to say her name wrong, and the Christians that are flocking to support her. Last week, we saw the launch of so-called evangelicals for Harris. Given her record on extreme leftism, it is almost a counterintuitive and self-destructive path for evangelicals to follow. But now comes this headline: the atrocity known as Catholics for Kamala. Those calling themselves Catholics and backing the Harris Walz ticket are insulting 2,000 years of saints. Joining us now with reaction is Timothy Head, Executive Director of the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Welcome, Timothy. You know, it wasn't that surprising to me to see Catholics for Kamala because I think of the Pope. And even though he seems to have remained steadfast in his pro-life stance, at least to some degree, many of the positions that the Pope of the Catholic Church takes right now are right in line with Kamala Harris. What do you say to that?
Well, I think the positions are kind of malleable a little bit. They can kind of be attributed in different to different audiences, or customized to different audiences depending on who she's talking to, which is no surprise because she's been a bit of a chameleon on a host of things, whether it be justice, whether it be women's issues related to women, to families. And I think one of the challenges that certainly is top of mind for a ton of evangelicals and Catholics remain the question about protecting innocent life. And there really is no way to kind of have your cake and eat it too in a situation like that. Either you're trying to protect life or you're not. And I think most people see through kind of the vagueness and ambivalence,
which is foundational, really, in the with the true Catholics that I know. And I say all the time on this show, I am not Catholic, but I did go all the way through Catholic schools. And so, as you can imagine, many of my best lifetime friends are very devout Catholics, and they don't stand in line with the Pope, and they certainly don't stand in line with the things that she's espousing. And certainly, they stand most strongly for the issue of life. But Kamala is such a chameleon. It kind of goes together. You know, Timothy, she is black. She's Indian. She's Christian. She's evangelical. She's Palestinian. She's pro-choice. She's pro-woman. She's pro-life. She's Trump, right? She's stealing Trump's ideas. There's nothing she won't be to get a vote. And at a certain point, it's just like, it reminds you of somebody just out there with their hand out, begging for anything from anyone they can get. She'll take votes from anyone if she can lie to them and get them to believe she actually cares about them. But how will Catholics respond to this?
Well, it's a great question. And listen, I think it's one of the questions for the next, 75 or 80 days as we sit here. The policies and the positions certainly matter. But one of the positions, one of the elements of this that kind of get lost is the fact that not only the Harris Walz campaign, but really the entire leftist movement does not have a significant infrastructure just to be able to identify and mobilize people of faith. And so they think, well, we'll just kind of like throw some platitudes and maybe a tweet and here and there, and I'm sure that they'll come our direction. But the number that we tend to look for is the candidate on the right going to get over 80% of the faith-based vote, the conservative faith-based vote, and right now. It's looking like Trump is well on pace to do that. And I think the Harris Walz campaign is just trying to kind of pull 2 or 3% off of that. Frankly, I don't think that's probably going to happen at the moment.
While the birth rate is the lowest in U.S. history and the DNC is giving free abortions and vasectomies on their Planned Parenthood party train, and they say they're all booked up for all of the services that they have there, I don't think this will bode too well. I don't think this will really fool many of the Catholics I know. But Timothy Head, we appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Always good to be with you. God bless.
God bless. Back with the second hour of American Sunrise in just 2 minutes, so stick around.